Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the part 2 of the work study. In my previous video I had already discussed about the part 1, that is the method study and the motion study. Now in this video I will discuss upon the work measurement or the time study. We will discuss upon the objectives, steps followed, what are the techniques of work measurement, and what are the necessary conditions. So, you know that the work study is divided into two parts, method study and the work measurement. In my previous video, I had discussed on method study. What was that? I'm just giving you the brief here. For the detail, you can check the description box. I will provide the link. So, what is method study is it includes the examination of the human work to search for the better methods or the new methods in order to improve productivity. And in the work measurement, what we are going to study? We are going to study about the time. That is the time taken to complete the task. Work measurement was proposed by Frederick Taylor and later on it is modified to include performance rating adjustments. Once the new method is established, the next objective is to set the standard time for the work. This aspect of work study is called time study or the work measurement, means it is the time required to perform a unit of work. How can we define the time study? Time study is a work measurement technique for recording the time and rate of working for the element of a specific job carried out under specified conditions and for analyzing the data so as to obtain the necessary time for carrying out the job at a defined level of performance. So, work measurement includes the study of time for performing any particular task. It is done after the new method is developed. So, next is objectives of work measurement. It includes determination of the standard time for doing any job. It helps in fixing the wage rate and the incentives. It also helps in estimating the cost of the product accurately. It helps in predicting accurately the duration of particular work and the customers promised accordingly. It helps in determining the number of machines required for doing the work. It helps in determining the number of men for doing any work. It helps in determining the number of machines that an operator can run. It provides information for planning and scheduling. It helps in balancing the work of all workers working in a group to compare the work efficiency of the different workers. So it also helps in comparing the efficiency of the different worker. So these are the important objectives of the work measurement. Now, what are the steps involved in doing any work measurement? So step 1 is you have to select the job to be studied. Then you have to break down the work content of the job into smallest possible element. Select the worker to be studied. Now you have to record the time for appropriate number of cycle, say 25 or 30, it can be up to 50. Now you have to calculate the average cycle time. Then you have to add the rating factor into average cycle time to calculate normal time, and then you will determine the standard time by adding relaxation allowances and contingencies in the normal time. So these are the steps to do the work measurement of any job which is to be studied. There are different techniques of doing the work measurement. It includes time study using stopwatch, like short cycles, repetitive jobs of less than 0.01 minutes, predetermined motion time system. It is for the manual operation which is confined to the only one work center. It includes the study of 0.006 minutes motion. Third is work sampling. It is used for the longer cycle jobs or the heterogeneous operation. It records the activities of minute. Analytical estimation. It includes the study of short cycle non-repetitive jobs. It also studies the motion of more than a minute. Fifth method is synthesis method. So these are the important methods or techniques of the work measurement. Now we will study about the necessary condition required for the time study. So the time study is conducted only on those jobs which has not been previously time studied, for which method change has taken place recently, and for which worker might have complained about the tight time standards. Now what, or we can say which worker is to be selected for the time study. So the selection of the worker for the time study is done very carefully, and the worker which is selected is called the qualified worker. But what do you mean by qualified worker? A qualified worker is one who is accepted as having the necessary physical attributes, possessing the required intelligence and education, and having acquired the necessary skills and knowledge to carry out the work in hand to satisfactory standards of safety, quantity and quality. So the worker on which time study should be conducted must have necessary skills for the job, have sufficient experience with the given method on the job. It means he should have crossed the learning stage, be an average worker as regard the speed of working, be temperamentally suited to the study, means those who can't work in the normal fashion when watched are not suitable for the study, should have knowledge about the purpose of the study. So these are the basic requirements for the selection of the worker. I hope the concept of the work study as well as work measurement is now clear to everyone. If you have any type of query, you can comment. Thank you so much for today. See you in the next video.